Hello and welcome to another episode of What Travis Says, the only show on YouTube that loves riddles but will not hesitate to call one out for not making sense. My name is Travis, and a guy was murdered in his office. You may have heard this one before. First off, I just want to say that I don't hate this riddle because I don't understand it. I hate this riddle because it doesn't make any sense, and yet 99% of people don't seem to understand that it doesn't make any sense. I've tried to find other people that share my views on this riddle, but they are few and far between. And if I seem a little agitated, that's because I am. This riddle once again popped up on my Facebook newsfeed with all of the comments being wrong. And nearly every solution to this riddle that I've found is wrong, in my opinion, and it's frustrating. If you've never heard the riddle, a man was murdered in his office. The suspects are Gerry, Julie, Jason, Nick, and Sophie. The numbers 6, 4, 9, 10, and 11 are written on a nearby calendar in blood. So, of our suspects, who is the murderer? Now I'm going to explain the solution and then we'll break it down. Unless you want me to give you a minute to try to figure it out yourself, I can give you a minute. I mean, I won't give you a full minute. This is a video. You can pause it whenever you want. See, I can even pause myself. It's important that the numbers are written on a calendar because they are meant to correspond with the months of the year. 6, June, 4, April, 9, September, and so on. 6, 4, 9, 10, 11, with the months of the year, that spells out Jason. So Jason is the murderer! Well, no, he is not. This is under the assumption that the murdered man wrote the monthly message. Would a dying man really scribble out something so enigmatic while he's literally laying there in a pool of his own blood? The riddle does not state that the message is written by the murdered man. You're assuming that the message is written by the murdered man, but in actuality, anyone in the room could write a message pointing to Jason. Hi, my name is Sophie, and I'm gonna leave a message that says Jason, so that way people think that Jason murdered this man. Har, har, har. Hi, my name is Nick, and same thing. Same thing as what Sophie said. Could be anybody. Anybody could have written this message. It would seem that any puzzling clues would be left by the murderer in order to attract attention to someone else, namely Jason. Now you could say, but Travis, what if the murdered man knew that the murderer was there watching him and he didn't want to write Jason in his own blood because then Jason would just get rid of the message? Well, provided Jason is the murderer, which he's not, if this was a dying man's attempt at exposing Jason in code, why wouldn't he just write 8, 9, 10, 11, 12? It's much easier to do than the way that was written when, you know, you're dying. It's just a bad riddle. There's no ending. There's no way to solve it. Unless this murder was far more calculated than we're giving the murderer credit for. Maybe the murderer is a serial killer and it wasn't meant to pin blame on Jason, but that Jason is the next target. In the alphabet, 6 is F, 4 is D, 9 is I, 10 is J, 11 is K, F-D-I-J-K, fidgetikik. Now who's the fidgetikik of the group? Gerry is always capable of keeping a cool head. He's calculating, but he's not a fidgeter. Julie hates puzzles. She can't even finish a word search. Jason is the next target. It's not going to be him. Nick has an alibi. He was waiting at GameStop for hours that day, and security cam footage backs him up. So that leaves Sophie, the nervous savant of the group, the puzzle solver who seems so innocent. Hi, my name is Sophie, and I'm gonna leave a message that says Jason, so that way people think that Jason murdered this man. Har, har, har. Or maybe he's my next target. This riddle is so bad. And there are so many people online that are so sure that they got it right with Jason. I mean, maybe Jason was the intended solution, but it just doesn't make any sense. It's a riddle that has so many holes. It just does not work. Do you think that Jason was the intended solution for this riddle, or do you think it's meant to show who can actually think a little more into how Jason isn't actually the murderer? Or do you just think it's a dumb riddle? Let me know in the comments down below. So to close off this video, I'm going to give you sort of a tricky riddle, and I'll leave the solution at the very bottom of the description of this video so you don't accidentally see it without intentionally wanting to. What do you get when you add 3 to 300 5 times? I'll leave the solution down below. As always, my name is Travis. Thank you for listening to what I have to say, and you will see me tomorrow.